Hey everyone, it's Jeff Lauterbach from Owen, Ohio. I'm here with Samantha Rayburn, the Owen, Ohio co-host. And Samantha, I know this is something you really love where we are right now. We're in Berlin, Ohio, Berlin Seeds. And this is a seed warehouse. And I'm here with Britton Wingard. And Britton, you and your dad, I know this is like a passion of yours. And I know your dad, Marcus Wingard, who's we talked about, one of the co-founders of the Food Independence Summit. He has a variety of businesses, and I know this one is just something that's really growing. And Berlin Seeds, it's February, it's Valentine's Day, and people are starting to prepare for what they're going to do ahead planting season. And what are your thoughts on that? Like, you know, the holidays are over. People are starting to think about spring and better weather and gardening and planting. And what can they expect, or what should they start doing right now?
Yeah. So the first thing is get together a list of what you're looking for, and some things that are good to have on hand if you're going to be starting some seed indoors is have a heat mat. If you start seeds, certain things, if you don't have heat, the roots won't grow properly and get leggy plants. So heat mat, trays, seed starting trays, seed starting mix. We've got several different options there. So start with those, and then your site. If you've planted a cover crop, compost it. So either you're going to do it fertilizer to feed over the summer. Spring's the time if you're going to feed crops. You want to fertilize in the spring. If you want to amend the soil, fall is the best time for that.
And I know, Samantha, you have Hadassah's Herbs for Health and Healing, so this is a place that you like because I know you do a lot of foraging, but you also like finding seeds, and this is right up your alley.
Yes, well, I've already, when I first opened the book, it opened right up to herbs for me in the office, and I noticed they already have a lot of the plants and things that I'll be using to make tinctures next year, so definitely going to be getting some of those herbs from in here so that I can get my garden going and really get my herbs growing so that I can harvest them and turn it into tinctures and medicine.
And it's interesting because I first learned about Berlin Seeds through the catalog and a Food Independence Summit flyer, and I know this is like a coveted item for a lot of people. And I know most of your. Can you explain your customer base and how it's growing?
Yeah. So 5 years ago, our customer base was primarily the plain community. It's still primarily the plain community, Amish and Mennonite across the country. Just in the past 2 years, so we've seen a significant increase in other gardeners coming to there's a growing awareness of the importance of gardens, and so over the past 2 years we've seen a lot more growth of the non-plain community. So that's primarily.
Probably the sustainable living movement getting in there.
Yeah.
People are noticing the importance of doing things themselves.
Yeah.
And I love that that's being, it's the trickling of the ripple effect across our community, across our nation, and I love that.
And you were talking about before we were on camera about the seeds, people bringing the seeds to the people. Could you elaborate on that?
Yeah. So our goal, and we love a lot of orders. We love to get orders, but our goal is to put the control of the seed back into the individual's hands. And so it's unique in the seed industry where we have competition, but we're all friendly. A lot of us are friendly with each other, and the goal is to put the control back into individuals' hands, small seed companies and help empower people to make those decisions.
And I know your dad talks about seed being currency, and I was telling you, I just think that's bad. I love that saying because it's so true. Because we learned during COVID, that was the first time maybe a supply chain disruption, and that so many people have been trained that all you need is at the grocery store, and that was the first time I think in recent history where people realized, well, where am I going to get my food? Nothing's in the grocery store. So I think that has really heightened and illustrated the importance, and it's great with the Make America Healthy Again movement now that people are recognizing that it's important to locally source your food, know what's in your food, know who is producing your food, and then if you can produce as much as possible.
Yeah. If you or your neighbors can produce it, you know where it's coming from. There was a huge, you mentioned COVID, there was a huge problem in the seed industry too. So everyone, we had the same thing happen with seeds. There was huge shortages. Everything was purchased up, and so we had a few years there that was a struggle to get enough inventory. Seeds are unique. They're not like people. You can't just go and make more than somewhere. It takes a lot of money to do that. So we had a few struggles through COVID in having enough availability, and that also brought the realization of how important it is to have the control in the individual. That's much more stable than one person being the only flow of seeds.
And one of the final things I think it's interesting, and we've talked about this before, and it's talked about the Food Independence Summit, where the quality of the soil is important. And I'm a beginner at all this, so I learned that last year, planting a garden and had raised beds for the first time and growing herbs, and so some of them worked out, and some of them didn't, but I just didn't really fully prepare. I'm going to be more prepared this year because I essentially just dug up the dirt and threw some seeds in. That's the beginner's lack of knowledge, but one final thing before we wrap up here, can you talk about that as far as the importance of preparing your soil and the quality of your soil?
Yeah. So the soil is where everything starts. We can have good seeds, we can have great seeds, but if you put them in bad soil, they die. That's not good. We need the end result. So soil health has particularly been destroyed in this country and other countries too. We till it, we spray it, we plant, till, spray, and all of the beneficial bacteria, a lot of the benefits that those bring have been destroyed. And that's another thing we've seen in the past few years too, is a huge movement towards soil health. So everything starts in the soil. We can have seed, but if we have bad soil, we're not getting anything done. So adding life to the soil, making sure the soil can breathe, oxygen. We go out and add a bunch of nitrogen. The air we breathe is really high percentage of nitrogen. If we can make so that can get into the soil and good cover cropping strategies to help get that in there. Good bacteria in the soil really help repair things.
Is there any parting words or questions that you have, Samantha?
I'm kind of at a loss for words again. I think he's covered it quite well.
And I know after this we're going to go do some seed shopping, but people can find you, order the catalog through the website now, right?
Yeah. You can get a PDF of the catalog. You can also sign up to be on the mailing list. We are still from the dark ages, so we don't have a website that you can order on, but we're working on that.
And that's berlinseeds.com.
Berlinseeds.life.
.life, okay. Yeah, and I love that, because that's like the Food Independence Summit is foodindependence.life.
Yeah.
And I love that URL is just so fitting with this.
Yeah.
And before we bid our audience farewell for this time, we're going to have more segments on leading up to the Food Independence Summit on Berlin Seeds. But do you have any parting words or anything you want to share that we haven't talked about for this segment?
I want to say thank you to the customers that shop here. We appreciate you, and to all the people who have interest in this. Thank you for caring about the right thing. And YouTube as well. You guys take interest in this, and this is really important. So,
Thank you for teaching us.
Yeah,
for teaching people, for being willing to share your knowledge.
We appreciate you, Britton, from Berlin Seeds, for being on, and we'll be talking to you a few more times leading up to the summit. And we appreciate all you out there for watching, and we look forward to seeing you again on All in Ohio, the podcast.